one of the biggest stars that MMA's seen, Khabib.
Yeah.
He's all ground.
Okay.
You know, he's a brilliant sambo artist.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, managed to stay undefeated in a very difficult sport for many years, purely using his ground game.
You know, they always say it's the lull before the storm. But after the storm has come and gone, you know, when the tsunami has come and gone, what's left in the aftermath? Well, today on this fantastic episode, I've got a lady that seems to be running it like it should be run. Krishna, thanks so much for joining me. It really is a pleasure. But the pleasure is much more because we've come off one of the best seasons that you've had of an MMA entire setup where MFN 12 was a blockbuster. You'll have actually seen it. A lot of viewing is already happening on Disney Plus Hotstar as we're talking. But how does it feel? Like I said, after the tsunami is gone, everyone's like sitting back. Are you already, because unfortunately, like any other business, you can't really take too much time off. You're back into it once again. But your first thoughts that came after the entire event finished?
I mean, we were ecstatic. It was definitely our biggest show till date, you know, in all avenues. Our biggest venue till date, the biggest crowd we've had till date. I believe our Hotstar numbers jumped even more.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, the number of, the watch time increased a lot by almost 286%. I know it because I have the numbers. But 286% watch time shows that the number of people are ready to stay and watch a lot more.
Yeah. So that just shows, you know, we were able to hold people's interest. The sport's growing more and more.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're over the moon. It was everything we imagined and more. Don't have much time to, you know, stay in that zone because we jumped right into planning for MFN 13. But I believe we have a solid blueprint to follow now, you know, a really solid base and foundation. So it's just smooth sailing from here on out.
You know, whenever someone thinks that, you know, when you're starting off on a new journey, like MFN 12 was like a new journey. Take me back to the 3 months prior to that. You know, did you all for once think that, you know, my God, we could run into a little bit of trouble or heavy weather to be able to execute exactly what we want to think it should look like?
Honestly, definitely not. I mentioned this earlier, you know, because my mom and I took so much ownership, you know, there was no room for nerves. We supervised every single thing from the very beginning up until, you know, the show day and then even after that. So, you know, when the two of us are so hands-on, we balance the work amongst ourselves, you know, really well. I think we're a great team and nobody does the job better than we do. And I think we've proved that with MFN 12.
Is there a far more clear demarcation of what you all are both doing exactly in the MFN setup now, you know, post MFN 12?
I think we both pretty much handle everything. You know, we supervise the lot and then we have a solid team that works within their own designations. But between mom and myself, we're overseeing every single thing.
You know, I think it always works out when two people are also in agreement with each other, which doesn't always happen in the case. When you're sitting out there in MFN 12, you're constantly thinking also, I know you're very involved with the fights, which is great. And I think one of the most watched podcasts of ours was In the Cage, one day before. I think that to us was the day when we realized that, oh my God, we're actually in this. Yeah. We're in the big cage, and we realized that it's actually what you had imagined it to be. When you were there, but then were those things happening in your head that I might want to change this? I think we want to do something slightly different.
When we were sitting there at that time?
Yes, or even on the day of fight night. Were you thinking about, a few things here and there? Are you one of those or no?
Yeah, definitely. Like, for example, I'd say during the press conference. Yeah. It was actually a little bit of an afterthought to involve the fans. Yeah. This time around, we're gonna do a lot more for the fans. Try to involve them from the beginning. Try to be more interactive. So I think one thing, if I had to say, and that's being super picky, would be to probably just have more fan involvement during the press conference for some more energy. Because I think the guys and girls would feed off of that, and it would make the face-offs more intense and more exciting.
Whenever people talk about face-offs, you see face-offs across the world in various, not just MMA promotions, it varies, bodybuilding and boxing and all that. Is that perhaps the most exciting thing for you as a promoter also to see what the energy, what the animosity that two fighters bring across when they're over there?
As a promoter, I wouldn't say that's the most exciting part for me. I think as a fighter, that would be one of the most exciting parts because, you know, that's the first time you're coming face to face with your opponent and actually feeling their energy. But as a promoter, I mean, nothing beats fight night. That's what we work so hard towards and that's what we look forward to.
But they've got to perform like you hope that they would perform.
Of course.
So now we got to come to one of the most important questions, you know, like we do like a little rapid fire. Biggest disappointment of fight night?
Biggest disappointment?
As a fight.
I think it would probably be the way Makhachev versus Khabibullo ended. Because, like I said earlier, that was an absolute clinic. That was the most technical fight we've seen on the MFN stage. I wish, you know, we had a winner out of that. It was unfortunate what happened, and it ended in a no contest.
You know, this time we had like referees from out of the country.
Yeah.
You had a setup that was brand new. Were you really impressed and really happy with what you all had done as well? Because the only things that these international people, whether it was referees or whether it was, you know, even the communities had to say was, let's add a mic here and there, or let's just add a few bits here and there.
Yeah.
They were blown away by it.
Yeah.
Were you also shocked at how easily you had surpassed expectations of theirs as well?
You know, it was nice to have Jim on board.
Yeah.
He comes with experience from all over the world. He's a UFC ref,
Yeah.
worked with the absolute best of the best. And to get his feedback, you know, even throughout Fight Week to help our officials grow and get to the next level was extremely helpful.
Yeah.
And he went above and beyond. We're so grateful for him.
Yeah.
And, you know, the feedback that he gave us after the show, it just proves that we're on the right path.
I don't think he understood what 9,000 people can actually do as far as sound is concerned. So he said, listen, I think I need a mic as well. Which is right. You know, sometimes I would like to keep adding this also. You've got a 6-hour fight night. And if you see the people not leaving the stadium for 5 hours, 45 minutes. And if they only will want to go once the fight is over, it is incredible. You know, that's almost sitting and watching 50 or 60 overs of a cricket match. When you're watching every single bit, that must be the most heartening thing for you as promoters.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's we didn't see that at MFN 11.
Yeah.
You know, towards, I mean, what's supposed to be the two most exciting fights, the co-main and main events, the crowd cleared out, you know. But I think because of our solid matchups and getting the right guys and girls on our card, it really helped. At the end of the day, you know, it's a give and take. It's not just take. So we want to have guys and girls that also give back to the promotion through their supporters and their fans. That's how we're all going to grow together.
Biggest exciting moment of the night. There were a few, and a lot of people had their own bits. She's the technical one. So I'll give you an example. Sometimes even I have different bits. I love an all-round bit where there's a bit of a brawl and there's like people getting involved. And then Krishna will come and say, no, I think this was the far more technical bit and this is what I expected to happen. So for you, the fight of the night was?
I'm going to say fighter of the night for me, and my dad would actually agree, Digambar. He, you know, he's been such a solid prospect from the beginning. He's such a technical guy. And now I believe, you know, more than his striking, he's become just a stronger overall mixed martial artist. He's dangerous everywhere. And, you know, he lets his fists do the talking. He doesn't do anything extra. It's literally just his technique and his skill that sets him apart from the rest of the guys. And I was really impressed, super impressed by him.
You know, this MFN 12 had some important moments for us. You had a girl defending her title, Pooja. She was defending her title, comes out strong, wins, gets some great press for that as well. You had a Shamanand that came on and there was a little bit of beef before that, comes in, wins. There's a great celebration that happens there. We've been talking about how we want to make superstars out of our fighters. Do you now see that happening where they're understanding that, oh, this is now working?
Yeah.
I will take it out. I've seen more social media promotion
For sure.
from fighters
Yeah.
than I've ever seen before. You think they finally got the message?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're understanding that, you know, the job doesn't just start and end in the cage. They're definitely, you know, putting in the effort to build their profiles, and you're seeing it translate, you know. We're able to attract a lot more audiences. So it's definitely working.
And you are coming in the right spots everywhere as well.
Yes.
So I'll tell you something. Whenever you think about reaching a promotion where it should reach, you've got some goals in your mind, you know. So when you're an actor, you want to not just do a role, you want to get an award and do all that. Forbes magazine had her in it. And when they talked about her being one of the biggest names or upcoming promoters in the entire sports industry, being the first and youngest female promoter, already was there as a chip on the back. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Was that something that you would, like, is really made you smile and then just say, yeah?
I don't usually get taken in or anything by much, honestly. But for me, the dream has always been, I want to be on the cover of Forbes.
Yeah.
For me, Vogue was never on the agenda. So to have, Forbes recognize what we've created is such a huge accomplishment and something I'm extremely proud of. And then, just recently, we were named as, after Dana White, we were named as, the top promoters in the world.
So for those who are listening and who follow MMA, they know who Dana White is, of course, and that's UFC. For those who don't know, Dana White is like the man who started it all with, UFC. In that list, when you made it there, it's almost like, that's it. This is it. And this is the right path and the right step up. So those listening in, this is humongous to be in the same breath also with it.
And out of those top 5, we were named number 2, So it's huge. And man, I can't even describe it into words. It's just, I feel like this is only the beginning. We're a very new promotion. We're a very young promotion. And I keep saying our trajectory is absolutely unmatched, not just in India, but globally.
I want to see Krishna one day just jump on the dance floor and scream and shout for all these little victories that you've got. We have to have an MFN party.
I was going to say we have to bring back those after parties.
And not with just the fighters getting scared of dancing in front of Ayesha ma'am or them. We have to have you also. These little bits and pieces. Now, when Jaggu Dada sees all these little bits, I'm sure he sees that. He knows he's won so many awards all his life. Is there a little bit of a tear that comes in there saying that, Bachcha ne bahut kar liya?
Yeah, he's super proud. Dad's not very, active on social media or very tech savvy, but I saw that he shared that post. So, that it definitely means something to him as well. And he did it without me asking.
When? Asha, you have to ask him.
Usually I'm like, Dad.
So sweet. MFN 12, he went and saw it as well. And this is somebody who knows what's happening in the house, but is not really directly involved in it. So he doesn't really, and he shouldn't. You shouldn't be caring about the problems that are reaching there or all that. When you see an actual fight night, what was his reaction? What was the first words that came out of his mouth? He said,
when he was there live or?
No, when he was watching MFN 12.
Yeah, so he watched the whole show on Hotstar. He couldn't be there physically, but he, Dad is a man of very few words. And it takes a lot to impress him. But he was blown away and he said, you guys have taken it to a different level. It looks absolutely beautiful. He literally had zero feedback for the first time ever, as in zero critique. Wow. So he was super happy. His only feedback was, we need more strikers. Like I said, as a fan of the sport, you want to see 2 guys just stand at
so that's another discussion also, as somebody who also understands the fight game very closely, do you want to have 2 strikers taking it to each other, or do you want to see 2 evenly matched people?
It depends from person to person, but me specifically, I love a good striking matchup. I just think it's the most entertaining kind of fight for the fans. A lot of people who follow the sport, they still don't fully understand the ground aspect of it. True. So I think, 2 strikers going at it is unmatched when it comes to the ideal fan matchup. World
over, do strikers get more? So it happens everywhere. Even in football, the strikers will get the bigger contracts. They'll all be there. Even in tennis, the guys who have got the big serve and volley, they also get there. Do you think the world over, it's the preferred form of MMA for fighters?
To each their own.
Okay.
One of the biggest stars that MMA seen, Khabib. He's all ground.
Okay.
He's a brilliant Sambo artist. And he's, managed to stay undefeated in a very difficult sport for many years, purely using his ground game. So, to each their own, but me specifically, I love the strikers.
And to your dad as well?
Yeah.
So maybe we get to see some more strikers as well. Now, how do you raise the game more? You've got to make like a blueprint that works well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people also say doing the same thing 10 on 10 for 5 is as good as trying to reach 20 and then falling back as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that the game plan?
I think slow and steady wins the race. We have a solid blueprint, like you've said, and we just follow it, and keep growing from that. There's definitely big exciting things coming up in the pipeline. I think the next level of growth will be probably broadcast. That's all that's left to achieve. And just keep introducing more international talent to our stage, and I think having these international guys and girls give us recognition across the world. So
has that respect increased now in the Dubai leagues and the international bits that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
The fighter levels have really risen.
100%. And having these guys and girls with a lot more international exposure come and fight against our guys and girls, it raises the level here at home too. So it's a win-win, and I'm looking forward to having some solid guys from across the world.
We'll see what the fight card's going to look like very soon, And that's, I think, the most exciting part. But like she said, broadcasting, and not just in the country as well. Because you've got international fighters coming, looking to sort of broadcast out into different countries so that they get to see this and say, hey, I want to be part of this. And that's the only way this is going to grow. So that's something very exciting. Thanks, Krishna, for joining us.
Thank you.
This MFN 12 was, I think, an eye-opener for so many people because, it's just big, bigger, best. And you always think, how grand can it become? But it's also going to have a lot of substance in there. There was a lot of substance in there. And there's going to be much more also with MFN 13. And people keep saying that, you're already on the path to the new one. Well, we're not that many months away already from it. So, we're already there and we're going to sort of execute sooner than you think. All your thoughts, all your ideas, and we promised earlier that it's not really a new season, but this season of podcast will have fighters in it as well. You can have your messages come in there. There'll be some very exciting guests also. We decided to introduce guests also in this. And some very, very unexpected guests might join us. And that's going to be quite exciting as well. So stick around. And of course, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, we've got it. We spread the net out quite wide. And on Disney Plus Hotstar, go to the mixed martial arts section. And when you type in there, you'll see, MFN and all our videos from fighter series to the podcast to whatever you want to watch. Please, jaake dekh ke aao and leave your comments. We'd love to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.